Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be diving into some pretty great free camping near the Crater Lake National Park area. These locations are right near the entrance, and our second location has an enormous perk that you are gonna want to stick around for. But one thing you need to know is that the National Park Service is closing access to Crater Lake after the 2025 summer season. So that means after September of 2025, there will be no swimming, no fishing, no boating, and no visiting Wizard Island for at least 4 years or more. And with this closure looming, there's a good chance you could see a surge in attendance this year. But don't even think for a second that that should stop you from making this your year for Crater Lake. And we're here to help you make that happen. There's something that you need to know about the camping in and around this area is that 90% of it is going to be boondocking or dry camping, which means no services at your campsite. So be prepared to dry camp or boondock, and that goes for the paid camping as well. And that's what I think most people are going to do, is flock to those paid campgrounds. But stick with us, because by the end of this video, you're gonna have exclusive free camping knowledge of this area that most visitors miss. And this is gonna ensure that your trip is one for the books. Our first location up is Claude Lewis. And you know you're at Claude Lewis because of this giant sequoia right at the entrance. Claude Lewis is located on Oregon Highway 230. May through October, this turns into a dispersed camping area that requires no permit and no camping fee. Claude Lewis has a ton of unique hiking and biking trails that you could literally go on for hours, which will also give you opportunities to have some unique wildlife moments, and the views out here are spectacular. From Claude Lewis, you are 21 minutes from Crater Lake National Park's north entrance. We're finally in Crater Lake. This is the bluest freshwater lake in the whole world. It stands out far and above all other lakes in color. Whoa. Wow. That's gonna get me.
We've seen so many of these twisters. Brian is in heaven.
That was crazy. Oh my. Holy crap. Never have I seen water that color. Not even in the ocean. That's amazing. And in the summer, when they open the 33-mile rim drive, you'll have opportunities for amazing views. It all points right to that. I set myself aside, lead the way on this trial. If you don't know the way. And don't forget, this is still the 2025 season, so you still have access to book your boat tours, to get over to Wizard Island, and to swim and fish in this pristine water that has quickly become the reason why this is one of my top 5 favorite parks. Once you're on the rim drive, make sure you stop at the Watchman, because it has the most amazing view of Wizard Island and their emerald pools. We actually went lakeside down Cleetwood Trail and took a boat over to Wizard Island to explore. And if you haven't had a chance to see that video yet, it should be right here for you. Take a look at that. This is a very immersive trip into the boat tour and the exploration of Wizard Island. It was such a fun video to make, and we hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, next up is Diamond Lake Sno Park, and you're gonna wanna see this. Diamond Lake Sno Park is located near the intersection of Highway 230 and 138. At this snow park, you get to camp right in between these two peaks, Mount Bailey and Mount Thielsen. I know we walk for days, losing hope, fading love. And being just 5 minutes from Crater Lake National Park's entrance, this is a huge convenience for you park visitors. But that's only half of this location's potential. And that's because Diamond Lake transforms into a summer destination all its own. The South Diamond Lake Sno Park is free dispersed camping from May through October, with flat sites suitable for tents or RVs. It offers privacy and tree-separated locations, which is awesome. It's quiet, and like I said, it's only 5 minutes from the National Park entrance, so it's a win-win. The wildlife at Diamond Lake is supposed to be pretty good. For us, I think the wildfires kind of had the wildlife scattered a little bit, but you could expect to see elk, deer, and all kinds of birds of prey. Now, we know that Oregon has black bears, and this area in particular has them as well, but we actually have never seen an Oregon bear to date.
A generator friend.
I think he was seeking some warmth. It got a little cold last night, so I think he wanted some warmth with the generator. More friends, more hitchhikers that you gotta watch out for. Oregon has a lot.
Diamond Lake is ideal for swimming, boating, kayaking, canoeing, paddleboarding, fishing. Actually, Diamond Lake is renowned for its rainbow trout. One of the things you must do while you're camping at Diamond Lake Sno Park is the John Dellenbeck Loop. Now, this is a paved path that goes around Diamond Lake, and it's 11 miles. You can bike or hike this trail, and it has plenty of scenic views all the way around. But a special part of this trail for us was the north end of this loop. There is a forest with redwoods and ponderosa pines that are just enormous, and it's a truly special part of the trail. The entire trail is beautiful, but make sure you check this out. It's a must-see.
We're having fun picking out all the flowers here. We don't know all their names, but Dare found out this fireweed flower you can make some tea with and some different things.
Some jelly.
Which we miss doing. You know, we did gardening back at when we had a house, and we haven't figured out how to do that yet here. So, but yeah, we're having a good time. We're on the bike trail that's going around Diamond Lake. One of the cool things you can do at the snow park here, but it's partially, we are training to do Cleetwood hike mid next week, and that's gonna be a bear of a hike, so we're trying to get our legs under us. Yeah, so we're trying to keep up pace, keep the heart rate up. It's been fun though. I'm glad we're getting back into this.
You're gonna find a number of places to stop along this trail to have a picnic or just admire the view, let the dog swim, maybe even join the dog yourself. Diamond Lake is an extremely clear lake. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell without the sunshine in some of these photos. As you might have seen, that the wildfires have had us on our heels a lot of this trip, but you still have your good days and your bad. It just depends on how the wind's blowing that day. And as far as you that are coming into the Pacific Northwest to boondock and have solar like we do, just expect to get a lot less solar than you're used to if you're coming from the Southwest. And that can be for whatever reason. Mostly cloudy conditions.
This is not a sky for solar.
Random pop-up storms.
I always wonder about how the hail will affect the solar panels. So far so good. We've been through like 3 or 4 hailstorms. This is probably the worst one, but the panels are unaffected by this, and I guess as they should. I mean, they're built to be outside permanently in the environment, so I'm not worried about the panels. I hear a lot of snap, crackle, popping up there, but we're not worried.
Extremely tall trees. or of course, fire smoke.
So we're camped here. We got the metal fort.
And that's the fire we see from camp right there.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then here's what we're not doing, is limiting our exposure to wildfire smoke. This is a great example of a time where you need to use your generator. Right now, we have the forest fires right behind me. It's been blocking our solar all day. There you can see the sun it's like a weird orange tint. All right, guys, look at this. Let me just do this real quick. You can see debris all over. This has got to be affecting the solar, don't you think?
Wow, it looks like a tornado.
So for all of those reasons, make sure you have a backup power source. Make sure your generator has a fresh oil change, air filter cleaned, and new spark plug, because you're probably gonna use it in the Pacific Northwest.
There's all the firefighters. They must have stayed here last night. That's friggin' dedication. Sleeping on the ground. This fire has gotten a lot smokier. We're on our morning walk. It's very still, but you can already smell the smoke is already in the air, so we'll see what today brings. But these fires have been pushing us around all month, really. And we've still got to see some really awesome stuff, but another thing you gotta plan for on the Pacific Northwest is these fires. And this is our second trip up here, and it's not a lot of trips, but each one has been fires, and we've been talking to the locals, and they say this is a pretty regular occurrence. So yeah. Okay, we're on our way to Eagle Point, well, really Medford, to run some errands. And guys, this smoke is getting intense. There's fire folks at nearly every intersection on standby. I'm gonna go back, look at this again. That car in front of me is disappearing into the smoke, and it couldn't be any more than 200 yards, 300 yards in front of me. This is...
We got a car coming head on.
Yeah, there's a car coming. I don't know when you guys can see it, but it's coming. That's craziness. Really intense. And I mean, intense smoke. I mean, we don't really feel like we're in any danger or anything, but it is incredible smoke. It's smothering, and it's everywhere. We might be moving into an area that has like barely anything for groceries, so we're gonna try and stock up on food and we need to get some propane today. So this is like a must-do errand. So it's not fun driving through this smoke, but we got to get it done.
It smells like you're standing over a bonfire that had just got put out. It's like, that's a constant, and it's insane. We missed out on 3 different waterfalls that we wanted to see because the trails are just closed. There's no getting around them.
It sure is something that Oregonians go through probably every summer, but for us it's brand new.
Yeah, with the fires out here, it seems like it's a matter of when the fires are going to happen, not if the fires are going to happen. If you even look up Crater Lake National Park on there, it tells you if you're planning on visiting in August to be prepared for the smoke because of the fires. So it's a known thing here. These guys are pros. They make you feel completely comfortable and confident being out here.
Yep.
If you can handle the smoke.
We have still had an amazing time, though. I would say that you could still navigate Oregon. with the forest fires, we're doing it.
And that brings me to a 100% must-have if you're planning on a road trip up in the Pacific Northwest, and that is this absolutely free app called Watch Duty. We've been visiting Oregon for 3 years now, and every single year the Pacific Northwest wildfires always have an influence on what we can see or do. And this year was worse than ever. We would have had a really hard time staying ahead of the fires and planning for future spots if it wasn't for this app.
All right, we're wrapping up our stay at the Diamond Lake South BLM, or the Sno Park. I'm not sure what we're gonna call this one, but this one really was an amazing stay. The bike ride around Diamond Lake is so cool. You know, you get Mount Thielsen right over here. And these spots were nice and level. And we found this nice open patch here. Sure, we'd like to be tucked away in some of these forests, but with our solar, we need to have a better view of the sky. So we opted for this big open area. Dare's wrapping up her last few minutes of work, and then we're on our way. Sergi's already loaded up, and we're excited to change things up. We hit our limit at this area, and we are ready to move to the next. Ready for a good solid move, no problems. I already checked all the air tire pressure in actually all 8 of our tires. They were all a little low, so I had to put some in every one of them. But yeah, and this is what almost ready to move looks like inside our rig right now. So we gotta empty Sergi's water, but his food ride's okay. We have all of our stuff in the shower that likes to slide around, and that is all secure. Here's our bed and all of our electronics right here. It is super easy and very stable. If we have the paddleboard aired up and we think we're going to be somewhere that might allow it, we leave it up and then we just lay it flat over this, and it kind of just comes in with the slide. So it's pretty decent. We got our looks like Dare's got our drinks and our grocery bags in case we see a store on the way. We got the dishes done, our ottoman pulled here in the middle so the slides can come in, and everything is cleaned up. And looks like we got to grab that tripod up there, or maybe not, that might right up there, but we might grab it anyway. But we're ready to go. The slides are ready to go in, and I have the stabilizers up on both ends. We just have our chocks in here. We didn't need the Andersons, so we have the bikes on our new hitch there. And then this is where our grill rides. It's so awesome. I love that part. And then we just have our ladder here that has ended up being super convenient for us. Just on a single ratchet here, it rides really sturdy. And then we'll grab Starlink, feed it up through that window, get that all squared away, put in the slides, no Andersons. We'll hook up, and we'll get out of here. I've already walked around this thing like 6 times. You know, when you go 2 weeks and you move, I get this nervous energy. It's like, it's almost like being in an airport getting ready to board a plane. It makes things interesting.
So if you decide to take advantage of this beautiful area this year, just remember it is pack in, pack out. Leave it better than you found it. And if you're staying at Diamond Lake Sno Park or Claude Lewis, your closest dump station is going to be Broken Arrow Campground, which is right next to Diamond Lake. It does have a donation request of $10. Cell service is spotty, so plan on limited connectivity unless, of course, you have Starlink. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for Crater Lake National Park and the free camping that is right in that area. We really hope that this helps you explore this awesome park, get to save a little bit of money, but also experience these brand new areas you might not have seen otherwise. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you're doing that and give us a thumbs up if you had a good time. And if we don't see you out there, we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.